Let me add some pieces to it. Well, kind of a fact of life these days is separations, divorces, etc. So how does that actually factor into me qualifying at this point for my mortgage? Well, if I'm in a separation situation, one of the documents I'm going to be required in my pre-approval process is my separation document. As a man, if I'm paying child support or the woman paying child support, we need to ascertain what that is by a court order. So the judge has said you owe X dollars. So now this is going to factor into an expense in my ability to qualify for a mortgage. So I need the separation agreement. I need divorce papers that say what the terms of the divorce were when it comes to financial situations. Do I owe an amount to my spouse? Any kind of alimony payments? Do I owe child support? How much is that? Am I getting any kind of proceeds from the sale of the property? Etc. So that documentation is also going to be added to the previous documentation that we talked about, which is your job letter and T4, etc. It also comes down to things like bankruptcy. Well, how is that different? Well, in some cases, bankruptcy can be by accident. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. It can be by accident. How does it happen by accident? Well, you get a couple and he is the spender and she is the saver at this point. They go their separate ways. Neither one actually pay the responsibilities. Neither one thinks it's fair that they should have to. So because one isn't paying and they go bankrupt, the other one is forced because all of the debt falls on them to go bankrupt as well. I've seen it many times where somebody who was a good saver never bounced a check in their entire credit history and then all of a sudden ends up in a bankruptcy situation. So, with the bankruptcy stigma in many cases, does that make them bad people? Well, no, it doesn't. However, if that does happen to you, things like you're going to have to wait. They're looking for 2 years past the discharge. So if it takes you 6 to 9 months to get your discharge, basically getting you out of bankruptcy, they're looking at some reestablished credit, and that can be things like credit card, rental payments, etc. In some cases, people are so fearful of it, they don't apply for credit after, which in some cases can be a detriment. So they've waited the 2 years, now they're going to qualify for a mortgage again, but because they haven't reestablished any credit situation, they're now behind the 8 ball. So when you're actually thinking that the strategy of a home buy or even your credit history is going to be important to you, seek some counsel. Get some people to give you some advice so that you have something to work towards, so that you know how to structure yourself in the event that you want to become a homeowner again and how you have to do that. I realize that all of this is, certainly overwhelming at this point, but with a professional and a map and people that kind of help you with making some of these decisions makes all the difference in the world in your qualification.